All right, guys, so we're gonna start completing this boulder going around the pond. But what I want to do first, it's almost like doing drywall in a house. I don't want to mud this in and then have to run my electrical. So I want to get this through now before I plug all these seams up. Place a light where I want it to show. I'm going to use this area right here, and this is why I don't mud everything, because I want to be able to use these voids to place my light in, and that eliminates half the problem. So I mean, this looks like a good spot because this is really where my spillway is coming. So I want to illuminate all of that water flow, okay, and the spill. So I'll end up putting one here, and this will be perfect for this whole area. So I'm using low voltage wiring, and these are just some lights that you pick up at Home Depot, landscape lights. These are really good because when you mud them in, they're all waterproof pretty much. So, and they're LED, so they'll last a long time. Not have to worry about changing out those old bulbs and everything. So on these ones, I just picked these up at Lowe's. So, pretty simple. If you want to use colored lights or strips, whatever you want to do, go for it. It's going to be the same procedure, those old puck lights. You're just going to mud around those edges and just kind of hide them in with the panel so it looks like part of the rock and you don't have like this big piece of metal sticking out. You just want to mud over that and make it all one monolithic like rock. So. Biggest thing with these, making sure these contacts hit the wire. You don't want to just plug it in and hope for the best. So, get this thing in here. I go with the 16 gauge. It's thick enough where I know those contacts are going to hit the metal and not have to play with the small wire that you're kind of fiddling around with and trying to get those contact points to go through. What I do is I puncture it once, unscrew it again, and then screw it down for a second time. So I'm going through that plastic coating because that's pretty thick, because I need those contacts to hit that wire or it's not going to light up. And then we'll tuck this all in, get that where I want it, exactly where I want it. With lighting, it's huge not to shoot this in people's faces. Especially like caves and grottos, if they're up on the ceiling, you don't want it pointing right at the entrance door where you're getting blinded when you're coming in. You just really want these to, like, even if it was here, let me give you a prime example. You want to highlight the profiles of your stone. So even if I wanted this guy right here, shooting upward, and focal point was this wall, that's pretty much what you're doing on caves. Have them angled down and give it that nice image, or like highlighting on your walls, okay? Don't obviously, blinded by the light. So that's what my spot's gonna hit. Yeah, so I just used my my electrical here. You just cut it with your little knife that comes on these things. Yeah, I'm at 16, so I'm gonna go to the 16. Nice and easy. Anybody that hasn't done electrical, just crimp down, split it off, nice and clean. You don't want to go to 20 and start slicing your wires, so just go to the number wire you got and just pop them right off, nice and clean. All right, so you have two areas on here. One's with comm, communication, and then a 12 volt. So all you gotta do is just plug them into those on these transformers. Like I said, these are really simple, easy to use. And the wattage on these lights are really nice because instead of it being a 50 watt, it's really a 6 watt or an 8 watt, 6 watt. So I mean, you don't use a lot of wattage. You could stick 20 lights on this one transformer. So screw those down snug. Don't strip your screws. It's only aluminum. So now that we have our wiring connected into the transformer, I'm going to plug it in. The connection is perfect. Now here's what I was talking about is when mounting or placing it in place, you want to be able to see the lighting before you mud this in. So where it sits, it looks pretty good. I could place it here if I want to in this gap, have it facing at this angle, but I think it looks okay. So now the next step would be to mud and then cover right over this so
you have the panel and the light all in one, so it looks like the rock.
And that's this week's Tech Talk. We'll see you next time. See ya.